Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That was the motto for the Bourne Braves tonight as they defeat the Chatham Anglers 12-4 after the Anglers spoiled their 4-game winning streak last night with a score of 8-3. Welcome into episode 6 of Tomahawk Talk. We have Kyle Kirchhoff, Michael Stern, I'm Troy Lynch. But Michael, it was a rough start for the Bourne Braves as the Chatham Anglers, they scored 4 in the first inning.
Yeah, they sure did. A couple of 2-run hits with 2 outs, a double down the right field line by Patrick Mathis, and a triple to left center by Chase Pinder. It was a rough start for JT Perez, but after that first inning, he buckled down, didn't allow a run in any of his next 3 innings, which left the door open for a potential Braves comeback, and boy, did Bourne slam through that door.
Well, the bullpen for the Braves tonight was excellent after that first inning with 10 combined strikeouts, but in that 6th inning, that's when things really got started for the Braves batting.
Oh, offensively, the Braves really turned a corner, and the thing that Chatham was doing at the start of the game that was really getting to JT Perez was they were being aggressive in the count. They weren't letting 2 strikes go by. As soon as they saw a pitch they wanted to hit, they took a swing. They didn't hesitate whatsoever. We saw that last night as well, and that approach is what really gave the 4-run lead to the Anglers. Now, it took a couple innings, but eventually the Braves started to catch on to that. David McKinnon, I think, was a perfect example of that tonight. The guy was just whacking the ball around the yard tonight. Absolutely ferocious bat tonight for McKinnon. But one guy I want to bring up is Toby Hanley laying down that bunt. Fantastic. It was just awesome. I had to ask him after the game. I said, hey, did you get that call from Shapiro, or was that, your decision? He's like, well, he gave me the green light. And so I went and laid it down, and boy, did he lay down a fantastic bunt. That thing rolled all the way down the line, hit the bag, and it's those kind of plays that really start an aggressive comeback. When you get runners on base, you start hitting the ball, confidence goes up, and it turns into 12 runs, I guess.
Well, that bunt was fantastic. So was Christian Taugner for the Bourne Braves. Came in for relief for JT Perez. Kyle caught up with him after the game. Here's what he had to say.
Well, the Braves got more than just revenge tonight as they come away with a big 12-4 victory in Game 2 of this homestand against the Chatham Anglers. I'm joined by Christian Taugner here post-game. While the offense was fantastic tonight, the bullpen was just as solid. Christian, outstanding game tonight. You struggled a little bit against Katuitt in your first outing here. You come out, lights out for 2 innings. What was working for you tonight?
Just fastball command. I was working the bottom of the zone, and the key was just to get ahead of the hitters and go from there, because the hitting was starting to come. It was a close game when I came in, and just my job was to get in and get outs, and that's what I stuck to.
The bullpen has been really solid this year overall. Is there something specifically you guys are trying to work on that's really helped you be effective in these games in the early part of the season?
Just like I said, just get in and get the out. It's tough to come in from the bullpen. It's a little different, but getting in and getting the out is the biggest key to do. Yeah.
How is it for you guys in the bullpen here? You get a pretty big a big lead for not necessarily all of you. I mean, you came in a pretty tight game. However, a big lead for most of the guys coming out of the bullpen here at the Cape League, where it's all about working on your stuff, trying to improve for next season. How big is it to know you have an offense there putting runs on the board where you can go in and just pitch?
It's huge, because if something happens, you don't have your best stuff, give up a run or two, these guys are going to have our backs and get at least 1 or 2 back, because we've been hitting really well at the beginning of the season. Hopefully that carries on, and we'll do our best to just get shutdown innings.
A blowout victory for the Braves tonight. For Christian Taugner, I'm Kyle Kirchhoff. We'll send it back to Tomahawk Talk.
It's about that time, and it's going to be tough again because there are a lot of options. Players of the game. Michael, I want to go to you first. Who you got?
Well, I'm going to go with the guy that Kyle talked a little bit about earlier in the game. David McKinnon didn't have the best of nights last night, but tonight he was dropped down to 5th in the batting order, thrown into left field, and boy, did he ever respond. Made a couple nice grabs in the outfield and finished with 3 hits and a walk, drove in a run with a double in the 6th inning, scored a run later in that inning. An all-around great performance from the Braves. Every spot in the batting order had a hit. Could have picked pretty much anyone, but I'm going to pick David McKinnon, a great bounce-back night for the new left fielder, perhaps, for the Bourne Braves.
An excellent choice, Kyle.
I'm going to take Connor Wong, the leadoff hitting catcher. I just love saying that. This guy has an electric bat, and he just always seems to fit into the game, kind of like a puzzle piece. Whatever game the Anglers are throwing out, whatever game an opponent's throwing at Wong, he always seems to fit into it perfectly. When the Bourne Braves started to get more aggressive in those middle innings, he was really one of the spark plugs for that. And he let off the game with a double. Didn't turn into anything. But when you have that kind of power and when you have that ability to get an extra base hit to start the game, that pays huge dividends down the road. finished with a 4-hit game and 5 at-bats, a couple RBIs. Connor Wong, I think, is a tremendous guy to have in this leadoff spot. And if he keeps producing like this, he's going to be the best leadoff hitter in the league.
Well, not to diss the pitching, but I'm also going to go with a batter myself. I'm going to take Luis Alvarado. Had a fantastic game, a 3-hit night for him. Started off the game, struggled a little bit, struck out swinging, but what does he do after that? Responds with 3 straight singles, had a couple runs, had an RBI in the game, and that guy has improved so much. He's been a lot of fun to watch. There's also a new Nebraska player, but we'll have more on him tomorrow. Final score here at Dorn Park, 12-4. Bourne takes the win. They improved to 5-1 on this season, and tomorrow they'll have another home game, this time against another Eastern foe in the Orleans Firebirds. That'll be at 6 o'clock, and you're going to want to make sure you tune in to episode 7 of Tomahawk Talk. For Kyle Kirchhoff, Michael Stern, I'm Troy Lynch. We'll see you then.